I'm joined today on I Made Digital by Thish de Zoysa. Hello, Thish.
Hello, Henry.
Thish is the chief executive and founder of Their Perfect Gift, which is, as the name implies, a gift card and rewards company. Now, Thish, you probably won't like to be described in such simple terms. You tell us about Their Perfect Gift.
Okay, so we are forever expanding into different areas, but at our core, it is a gift card that can be redeemed in 32 million global locations.
That sounds amazing. But I mean, I don't know how many other people can say the same thing.
I don't think there's that many. I suppose the other USP for us is that we only retail our product, one product, over the internet.
Wow, that's very interesting. How do you actually get out to companies? Don't you go and visit people? When you say retail over the internet, if people want to do business with you, is it all soulless and online?
To a large degree, they can buy as little or as much as they want on our website. And we sell both to consumers and to corporates directly off the website. If their ask is more complicated, which typically happens for companies that are running large sort of corporate reward campaigns or marketing activity, then they can contact us. An account manager will be in touch, and we quite quickly put together the program that they need, including the fulfillment.
Right. So obviously you can provide more services to corporate than to a retail customer. It just goes online. So that's interesting. So retail customers can just come in and buy the same sort of product that a corporate could have, but just for one person.
Yeah. So we do quite a bit in the retail space, but it's important to note that our product is actually regulated. So our technology is the same as a bank debit card, but with parameters that we sit within parameters which put us within e-money regulations.
What territories do you actually cover? Just give us the kind of the hygiene stuff about who you're relevant to and where.
Okay, so we can distribute to territories within the SEPA region, which is fundamentally within Europe. So we have a lot of companies approaching us from all over the world to look after their customers and staff within the Eurozone, and that obviously includes, including Europe as a continent, including the UK. We are looking at expansion into other territories. Right now, we are looking at expansion into North America.
Right. So for now, debit card type functionality in Europe. So that leads on to the debit card functionality.
Yes. So we have both a physical and a virtual variant. So our physical gift card can be redeemed anywhere with any retailer that accepts MasterCard, online or in-store. Our virtual gift card can be redeemed with any MasterCard accepting retailer, online only. And that is delivered directly into someone's inbox.
Now, for someone like me who's a bit of a newbie to this, what exactly is the advantage of a gift card? I'm just trying to get my head around it.
The gift card in the UK is ever expanding. So roughly the market right now is around 7 billion. That's just the UK only. A retailer specific gift card means you can only redeem that gift card in that retailer. Our gift card can be redeemed with any retailer that accepts MasterCard. So what we're effectively doing is taking the guesswork out for the purchaser. No one needs to know whether Henry likes shopping at John Lewis or Next or M&S or Sainsbury's or Tesco's, because they're all in.
Okay, so I make gifts to my kids or whatever every now and again, and I just put the money in their bank account, which is very easy and quick for me to do. What would tempt me to give them a gift card instead?
Well, you could still obviously put the money in a bank account. We're not stopping that. But if you are running let's say a campaign, if you are a direct to consumer marketing agency and you are targeting you, Henry, well, they don't have your bank account details.
Exactly. Yes.
The other thing is about engagement and loyalty.
Well, before we get on to that, that's actually a very interesting point, because I do actually make ex gratia payments to people on a one-off basis. And it does make me feel a bit weird, particularly if they're female. And maybe that's just me being a sexist, but I don't like asking people for their bank details to give them money.
No, and in the world where we live today, which is everyone's scared about their data being leaked online or their account information out in the open, we don't need the recipient's bank details, because we're just using our own rails in order to give them a gift that they can redeem to buy what they would like.
Yeah.
And our card cannot be exchanged for cash. So someone cannot go to an ATM and withdraw money. They literally have to buy something with a retailer.
Well, the good thing now is that the world is increasingly cashless, so I can't see that as a downside really anymore. And presumably there's a handling charge that I have to pay. But is that the case? I was just thinking while you were talking there about things like sending money by I don't know, by Wise, I think, or PayPal. I haven't really got into that. I've just gone down the embarrassment route of saying, what's your bank details? And so I definitely have a pain point with that. But what would be the difference between giving them money in this cashless society? So I don't think it's a negative that you can't take cash out, compared to sending it via PayPal. Which one's more expensive? What? Just talk to me about that compared to your competition, your non-gift card competition.
Okay, so in order to send, we are not a money remittance business. Okay, so what you've described are people that are licensed to literally send to account. That's not what we do. So and it's not always just about sending money, because money in its and the sending of it it's kind of cold. Okay, and we want to take that bit out. But if you really think about what the recipient wants, in my view, they want as much flexibility and choice as they could possibly get. What the purchaser wants to do, or the sender of that, they want to get something else. They want to please the recipient, right? They want to make sure that their gift, or whether it be a monetary amount, is utilized in the best possible way for the recipient. So everybody wins. From a consumer perspective, we try and keep our pricing to the same as someone sending a greeting card through the post. Yes. So something like a Moonpig, a personalized greeting card through the postal system that has that engagement and personalization. We keep to that kind of pricing. Okay. So if someone is buying a £100 gift card to be sent in the UK, it's £4.99, right, with their own personalized greeting card and messaging, etc., attached.
And so you do the greetings card bit as well, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. So
and can I record a video as well?
That will come soon.
That's cool, because wouldn't that be great if I could say, look, you just did a wonderful job. It was raining, and I just want to thank you with 100 quid, because I mean, they better have been putting up a marquee for me for that, but but let's say I want to do that. I don't care, I'm not interested in whether it costs me a £5 or not, but I am interested in the research showing me that it really makes them feel good. So can you come on to that and say, why should I pay that £5? How do you know that they do feel really good? Because the £5 doesn't mean anything. It's just, I don't want to be a mug.
No, absolutely. So when we're talking about engagement, it is about the video and the written word. And money, by just sending it on its own, doesn't really mean something, right? Even when you're sending it to your family, you'll probably follow it up with an email or some a voicemail or a telephone call to personalize it. And we just combine them. Yeah. And what we also have is the ability for people to send augmented reality videos. So they'll be often coming off the greeting card itself. We do that for quite a number of corporates now, and soon off the actual gift card. All the technology is there. So the other thing to consider is the pain points for the recipient. When they've got a gift card and they spend some of it, well, how much have they got left? Right? And where can they spend it? All these kind of things come into play. So what we do is we accompany our gift card with the use of a free app. So everyone pretty much got a smartphone now. They activate via the app. They can check their balance and transactions all through the app in their smartphone.
Give us a timescale on the video, and What will the restrictions be? Is there a time limit of 10 seconds, or could someone do a proper actual review and say, look, here's your work review. It's a 5-minute video and here's some money. And so sort of turn it around to be more video led, actually.
Yeah, sure. So the video technology is already ready now, and we're ready to go with that on greeting cards, and we have done. In fact, here's a video that shows you how it's done. We limit the video to 30 seconds because there's storage and people just don't, they lose attention after that. And then soon we'll be allowing it to happen on the actual gift card itself. Now that will be limited to corporates in the first instance, because this is a regulated environment, as I said before. So all of the videos and images, etc., has to be reviewed. And what we will do with scale is allow the whole thing to be automated.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And can the recipient ever send that video on to anybody else? Can they access that video?
No. So the video is triggered by the image and the app. So both of these things have to be in the same place together for someone to be able to watch that video.
It's just that with WhatsApp, you know, a lot of the fun of video is sending it on to your family to say, hey, I got this nice message.
Well, someone could record them watching the video through another mechanism and forward it on.
That's great.
But the whole point really is taking it into a new digital age.
So how powerful. And isn't that interesting? Presumably when you started the business, you didn't really know about apps to the extent they are now. And so you're just being increasingly empowered by the network, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, the reason why we even came into this in space was, you know, I'm from an insolvency background. And over the years, over the last 15, 20 years, the amount of retailer insolvency we've done is quite a lot. And every time a retailer goes bust, legally, their gift card is worthless.
That's terrible. That's disgusting. How on earth could that ever have been the case? I mean, what was the government doing?
Well, it's not something, I mean, the retailer gift card environment is not regulated. So, and it's just the way it is, but it grows, right? It's a working capital mechanism for retailers, and that's absolutely fine. But legally, the holder of a gift card for an insolvent retailer, it's worthless. It's done. Without card, the funds are actually held in a ring-fenced account secured by a MasterCard issuer for the benefit of the cardholder. And it's an expensive technology and an expensive supply chain that we've put together.
Give us an idea of the percentage of unregulated gift cards there are out there. How big is this problem?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a problem. I think it was just a situation. But like I said, the UK market for gift cards is about 7 billion. And those that use open loop technology, such as ours, we probably only account for 5% tops.
So when you say open loop, that means MasterCard.
So companies that utilize a Visa or MasterCard rails or some of that bank open loop technology.
So yes. Only 5% give you a guaranteed amount of value. 5% of the UK market, and presumably is it similar in the rest of Europe?
Well, in the rest of Europe, it's probably lower because there's probably not so much penetration of the open loop technology in those markets.
Okay.
And in some territories, people aren't even utilizing retailer-specific gift cards.
Okay, so what we're talking about is a major risk to people's money at the moment. 95% of the gift cards out there have no protection whatsoever. So you're taking a punt that in this very fast-moving business of massive move to online for retail, 95% of people who are buying traditional gift cards are totally unprotected in an era where a lot of retail organizations are going out of business.
Yeah, essentially, because that money is not ring-fenced. And because it's not ring-fenced, it's used in day-to-day working capital. If the retailer goes bust, then legally, any insolvency firm that's looking after, any administrator is not legally bound to accept the gift card as tender. When someone buys a gift card and they put it in the postal system, if that goes missing, there's no clawback. You can't, it's gone.
Surely you have to activate this thing with a code before it's viable.
With ours, you do. With ours, you do. And that's the safety feature. So when someone purchases that card, so for example, when you buy that card for your daughter, for example, and she then receives the greeting card that's personalized to her with your lovely words and messages in there, Henry, she activates it through the code that you told us to email her. And if it had gone missing in the post, don't worry, your funds are still ring-fenced, protected, because there could be no unauthorized access.
It's just extraordinary to me that everybody doesn't use this, because we use passwords so much. Why wouldn't everybody else have an app and a password at the very minimum in sending their gift cards through the post today?
Well, if you consider it, you remember that 95% of the market is retailer specific, and that only contributes a tiny proportion of the overall income for a retailer. Remember, their business is selling goods and services, mainly goods, not selling gift cards. That's just a small area of their whole operation. Right? And for us to come into this market is we still work with all of them, got no issue with it. There is a market for all of us. What we are just trying to create is as much choice and as security for everybody concerned, because our card is still accepted at all the retailers.
I understand that more and more corporates are using your cards as time goes on. So I'm very interested in why. I mean, do they make up a growing percentage of your business, corporates compared to retail? Is that where it's going, more and more corporates?
Yeah, I would say about 80% of our business is corporate. So we have direct approaches from human resources teams, where we are used as a spot reward or long service reward or a one-off expense voucher for their staff. And we get very popular at the end of the year, where a one-off bonus is used in our gift cards rather than through payroll, because it goes back to the point of when you stick it through the payroll, people only notice what they didn't get. Yeah, they only notice the tax that's been taken off. They don't necessarily notice, oh, I just had an extra. Yeah.
No.
When you put it in a gift card, it's a different kind of engagement. And our gift card is redeemable 32 million places.
Well, also you're prompting the management to write a nice little message, and they've got it on record whether they could be bothered to do that or not. So, you know, I mean, it's quite interesting, because with these 360-degree I don't know, assessments of people in companies, if a member of the team says, well, my friend Jackie down the road got a lovely message, and I was a little bit sad that you couldn't find the time to actually thank me for something, that's kind of quite a concrete thing the manager hasn't done. So it's quite measurable whether they put any effort in to putting something in writing and backing it up with the money. And I can definitely see, and also in future, that if they could record a little video, which, as you say, is coming, then that's quite useful, because the person can take that potentially for their review of their main pay to say, look, this is actually what the manager, who's not in the room at the moment, had to say on that project that I was delegated to.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's recognition, right? Because we all have our salary, and it's a base thing for what we have been employed to do. And the rest of it is for recognition, going above and beyond. And that's then backed up by something that the recipient actually wants. If you give the recipient something they don't want, it actually proves a negative impact. So if, for example, if you give them a gift card for a place they never shop at, statistically, you're forcing them to spend 40% more above the value in a place they don't want to shop at.
Give us the use case for corporates compared. So I get the general use case, that's great. What is the use case for corporates compared to the retail market?
Well, I'll give you one live one which we're doing, where it's a very large automotive company.
Right.
And if you buy a vehicle from them on finance, from now for however long, they will give you a £250 of our gift card, which you can redeem against your fuel cost.
Wow.
So they are very in tune with the rising costs of living at the moment, and our card allows them to spend it at whether it be an electric charging point or the petrol pump. Is where companies are calling it service recovery. They're bad service. We are asked to send you a card as a way of apology. And what they're not doing is they're not second guessing what you may or may not like. Yes, they send you a bunch of flowers. Well, you might not be interested. They send you alcohol. You may not drink, etc., etc.
Yeah. And that's much more fun than getting just a month off your subscription. It's, you know, it's actually taking that extra step of sending a message and saying, look, we value you. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and it's an opportunity for them to put in words and pictures and even in video to apologize. And we get to read a lot of the messages that people are putting, and sometimes it's lovely. You know, they ask their customer to take their partner out for a meal or do something else with what they're going to provide as way of apology.
Thish covered a lot of ground. I think it's been fascinating. Really enjoyed listening to this. Just tell us about the IMA.
Okay, so the IMA is to me a wonderful organisation. It's made up of members within this loyalty, incentives, rewards space across Europe, especially, and it's a collective where it's people are, you know, they're working together, they're sharing best practice. People coming from different territories, bringing across learnings, and trying to collaborate, really. And in some places there might be some competition, but more often than not it is collaboration. So much of the product offering that we are providing to customers is in partnership with other IMA members. I found it incredibly valuable because it is the collective working for and with the collective.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about the team. There's no I in team. Thish to Zoysa, their perfect gift. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.